with us who is a longtime friend of this community, this neighborhood, our former representative in the New York City Council, and of course now the New York City Public Advocate, Letitia James.
Emphasize the long. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Good morning, children. Good morning. Good morning. So thank you all for being here this morning. And I want to thank my colleagues in government, and I want to thank my wonderful predecessor or successor council member, Lori Cumbo, for doing a fabulous job. Yay! To Maggie, to Gib, to David, to Sharon, and to all of you, and of course to PS9 parents, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your support. I started out with you almost 12 years ago, and I continue to stand with you in this effort. And I want all of you to know, now that I've gone on to citywide office, the reality is that I'm always and will always be grassroots and community-oriented, and so I will always be with you. You know, when I was the city council member several years ago, I organized a middle school task force to deal with the growing demand. At that time, almost 6 years ago, DOE informed me that this district did not need a middle school. I basically informed them that given all of the development, given all of the changes in the neighborhood, that a middle school or freestanding middle school was desperately needed. At that time, they rejected our plea. But I think this really creates an opportunity. We need to seize this opportunity to create a space and a center of learning that transcends the traditional public school and utilizes the rich arts and culture that is available to all of us, particularly in downtown Brooklyn. A dual language school, there's a similar model in Fort Greene, but we need to bring a dual language middle school into District 13 to provide our children with the tools so that they could be players on the world stage. We need to seize this opportunity to create a middle school that will not just teach math and science, but will teach STEAM, and will also prepare our young individuals for a quality education. And that's what's really critical. MS1 Brooklyn is the vision of parents and community leaders on the ground who understand what the neighborhood needs. You all know I have always stood for the concept of building from the ground up and not from the top down, and that also applies to education. Last year, as the public advocate, I held a series of town halls in all 5 boroughs, and all across our city, parents are feeling that they are being shut out of decisions being made in their children's schools. And so all of them basically wanted to reform, wanted to mend and not end mayoral control. And this is an opportunity for all of us to change course, to work with the local community, to make sure we are serving our children as best as we can with ideas from parents and from the community at large. Today we are really not asking a lot. All that we are simply asking is that this be a thoughtful proposal and that we be a part of the conversation, that we establish a model that empowers and that includes parents, the voice of parents and residents. I look forward to working with all of the elected officials, and I look forward to, again, continuing the conversation with Chancellor Farina and DOE as we plan for a middle school in District 13. Let me also go on to say that I recognize and I understand that the location that has been chosen is very challenging, and I do have concerns with respect to the location. Nonetheless, I think we should go forward and demand a freestanding middle school with all the bells and whistles that our children deserve. Thank you.